All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews. So somebody in the comments of a video asked me what I was going to be reviewing next, and I gave them a little list, and I included Barry Season 2. I just finished it right before I canceled my HBO, right before I canceled my HBO subscription because of Game of Thrones. Solidarity. So I didn't know, I didn't know if I was gonna even watch the season finale of Barry season 2. But I watched it, and then after I canceled my HBO, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. So for that commenter, I stuck with this. I wasn't sure if I was even going to talk about it, but I rewatched my favorite episode of the season, and I realized how good Barry is. And it's, it's nice to see some HBO shows who have people that care about the product because they're a part of it. Bill Hader co-created this with Alec Berg. He writes and he directs in this series. And it shows that this is something that we need. I needed this. I needed to watch something where the creators and the writers and the people behind it care about the product. I needed that after Game of Thrones. And if you need a palate cleanser, I definitely say watch Barry season 1 and 2 on HBO. After we've gotten over our Game of Thrones thing and we resubscribe when something's too good to pass up. But Barry season 2, let's talk about it seriously, because I'm excited to talk about this one. Just like I was excited to talk about Silicon Valley season 5's review. So there will be spoilers, but I'll let you know when. I mean, if you haven't seen any of it, go watch Barry and then come back and watch this. So Bill Hader, man, I didn't know him right away. I didn't watch him on Saturday Night Live for a while. I wasn't watching Saturday Night Live back then. He's just one of those guys where I just was like, oh, he's funny, but he was never starring anything. And now that he's gotten big, I mean, he's one of my favorites now. He's one of my favorite actors right now. I don't know what he's going to be like in It, but I didn't like It to begin with, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But when it comes to Barry, I was not sure about this at all. And even at the end of season 1, I still wasn't quite sure about this show. Because I was just like, man, tonally, what is this trying to do? Because it's funny as fuck. But it is dark. Like real dark. And I like dark. But it's not really, there's times when it's darkly funny. There's times when it's just regular ass funny. Then it's darkly funny. And then it's just dark. And I don't mean funny either. Like dark. And so for a while there, like after I got done with season 1, I didn't know what to make of this show, how I felt about it, because Barry is a hitman who works for this guy named Fuchs, played by Stephen Root, who, I love you, Stephen Root. Oh my God, has he ever given a bad performance? Him as Fuchs and this Barry's handler is, oh God, just so great. But he's trying to keep Barry in to this world, and I didn't know how to go about this, watching the show about this hitman, because it's funny and he wants to be an actor, which to me is kind of like the weakest part of the show. It's you have to have a gimmick. You have to have something. And there are times when it's really, really good. But it's the weakest part of the show to me, because just the self-absorption that these, not even like they haven't made it yet. They haven't really done much, these actors in here. And they are already like so full of themselves that it's a little hard to watch at times, especially Barry's, what becomes his girlfriend, Sally. Played by Sarah Goldberg, who she's doing a really good job. As long as her job was that I'm supposed to hate her guts. And and here's the thing. It's not just the character in this situation. I don't know what it is about Sarah Goldberg, but every time I see her in something, I don't like it. I hate being like that. But I got to be honest. That's what we do on this channel. We try to be as honest as we can. And I've tried. I am trying. There's a whole storyline in here where she's trying to write this scene that's her truth, that's full of lies. But she starts to be able to tell the truth. And I'm not going to get into spoilers about her storyline, but it ends very disappointing because it just shows like her cowardice and like kind of like I don't know. I just can't with that character. There's a lot of other though people in the acting class that I really do like, especially the girl from Darcy Garden, I think, from The Good Place. She's in this. I like her in this. And then we've got Henry Winkler, who plays Gene Cousineau, Barry's acting coach. And I thought he was fine in the first season. He just reminded me of the guy from the lawyer from Arrested Development. And I remember Happy Days. I almost called it The Happy Days. What the flying fuck. But what's interesting is that right before I watched this, the episode I was talking about that made me really want to do this review, I watched the clip where Richie Cunningham is saying goodbye to his family and his sister and the Fonz. And Henry Winkler's performance in that, when he's saying goodbye to Richie, just made me realize I saw how good of an actor Henry Winkler could be in a role that's very over the top and cartoony, and give this person suddenly some emotional depth that you believe. And there's weight. And I'd never seen that because it's been a long time since I've seen Happy Days. And the only other thing I remembered him from is as the principal in fucking Scream, which I thought was great because I think Squiggy was in that movie too. Or maybe that was Scary Movie. Scream gets the Fonz. Scary Movie gets Squiggy. So anyway, that's the last thing I had seen him in, and then he was in on Arrested Development, and I'd seen other stuff like Night Shift and things, but that was so long ago. So yeah, he was really great on Arrested Development, and then he's in this, and he's been in other things too. He was on Parks and Rec. He was great. Oh my God, he was great as John Ralphio's dad. Holy shit, I love it. But seeing him in this, I got to see him really be what he could do in this. Like the acting chops that Henry Winkler really has. And going through in season 2, he just keeps it going and keeps it going. And even though you can kind of see where it's headed the whole way, his performance, since he doesn't know what's going to happen, but we do, I love seeing him figure things out. Even though the very last moment is the very last episode of the season, you know exactly what's coming by the end of the episode. It's very telegraphed. But it doesn't change the fact that since the character doesn't know, his reaction is great. And he's so good as Barry, trying to encourage Barry to come out of his skin, even though, spoilers for season 1 here, he killed Gene's girlfriend, the cop that was looking into Barry. And so Barry, this whole season, is trying to, work on things and not do what he's doing and trying to be a friend and help Gene out because he killed his girlfriend, and yet he's still trying to get acting lessons from him. He's still trying to get, have a father figure in him, knowing that there's this huge secret between them that the only one of them knows, is really, really great here. His relationship with Fuchs in this is also really great because he's trying to get out, and Fuchs' desperation to keep him is great. And Stephen Root shines in all his slimy, snaky goodness in this season. Oh my God, is he great. Somebody else I don't want to forget about is Anthony Carrigan, who plays NoHo Hank. NoHo Hank, man. Okay, so anyway, Anthony is most famous for being on the awful Gotham as Zsasz, Victor Zsasz. And he's an over-the-top version of, he's not anywhere near what Victor Zsasz really is, but he is the only person, I think, on Gotham, because God forbid, I was watching it up till the last season and I just couldn't anymore. I was like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? But he was so great as Victor Zsasz. He was having so much fun. And I know all those people were, but I just gravitated towards his character. And so in this, though, he's not that. But he's just bringing it. He is bringing it, like, but not in a way, you could almost call this overacting, but it's not. It feels so sincere. And I do hope to, like, whatever happens, whatever I see this guy in the future, I really hope he does a lot, because he's so freaking great as this guy. And his arc in this is really funny. It's just a kind of a side plot, but this show kind of needed it this year for sure. And his whole thing with trying to keep his Chechen gang together and stuff and getting their respect and getting Barry to train them and things is just, it's just really, really funny. Really, really funny. And episode 5... Ronnie/Lily is one of my favorite single episodes of television of this year. In fact, in a while. It is it's so different. It's a running in real time episode that reminds me of a Coen Brothers movie, or a lot of a Coen Brothers movie, like Raising Arizona type shit. And it's all done in like real time. And it's about a hit gone wrong. And I love that kind of story. It reminded me of The Sopranos. I think it's season 3, called Pine Barrens. So spoilers for that. Right, I'm just going to give you the plot of it, really. But it's where Christopher Moltisanti and Paulie Walnuts, two of Tony's guys, try to get some money from this Russian guy. And it ends up going really bad, really quickly. And it's just like how you can underestimate somebody and the ferocity of the human spirit and will to live. And the shit that they go through in that reminded me of the shit that Barry and Fuchs end up going through in this. Because in that episode, because Ronnie is like this Taekwondo champion, and I love how they introduce that. I love how they give us the exposition for that. It is so great. And then he's got this daughter, Lily, that you meet later, who's like, he's been training, and she's basically like, I don't know. She's like she's like a honey badger from the comics, or like a little bit like X-23, I would say, like, but from the Logan movie, without claws. But this actress is an incredible little stunt actress. I don't have her name here, because I'm not looking at that episode's cast, but that whole episode is one of the best things I've seen. And just, there's a little bit of sketchy wire work in that episode. I don't know what, and if you go, why would there be wire work in an episode of Barry? Well, you'll find out. Because that is seriously one of the best episodes, and it just keeps going and going. And Bill Hader in that episode, holy shit. Holy shit, is he fantastic. He is fantastic throughout this whole thing. I can't believe he is this good. He's always been funny. I've always thought he was funny and talented in that way, but I didn't realize how like really good he was. And the writing in this show is standout. It's really, really great. I don't want to give anything away any more than what I've said already. But like I said, then the acting class gets a little bit less, I think, than it did last year, which I really was happy about. And hopefully, I mean, I know that they can't get rid of it altogether, but there are funny moments. Don't get me wrong, there really are. It's the weakest part of the story. Let me see if I got anything else. All I know is it has the season finale is incredible. It's incredible, and it feels as you feel this buildup of something about to go down really hard, and by God it does, and I love it. So that's really all I'm going to say about it. I'm going to make an episode for the series finale of Veep. I'm going to after this, so I'm going to cut this short so I can get to that. But I think I've said enough to either get you to watch it. I really think you should watch it, especially, like I said, if you need a palate cleanser after Game of Thrones and you still don't want to cancel your subscription, watch Barry. So if you like this review for Barry Season 2, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. Otherwise, this is Robert Smirking Gun Reviews saying have a great night, and we will see you on the next video.